Our top story today is the Shycocan, and this is a device that has been making a lot of name for itself. It's priced at about 25,000 rupees, and the claim is that this has technology built in that can neutralize the COVID-19 and influenza viruses. Now, this is a big claim to make, and of course, this is a heaven sent if it works. And there has been a lot of amazing press, a lot of organizations, a lot of restaurants, a lot of institutions have started using this. But there is also, because it's such supposedly amazing technology, there is skepticism also. So this is what I'm going to do. The claim is that this can actually neutralize the COVID-19 virus in a room, and it can neutralize 99.9% of the virus in the air and on surfaces. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do a two-part to this. One, I'm going to review this for you as to this is what we believe and we've been told this device can do. When we come back, we'll talk to the people behind it, including the inventor. I'm going to throw some hard questions to them.
There have been many breakthrough innovations against COVID-19, mainly from the medical community. A lot of people point out, though, how the tech field hasn't contributed much. More than a year later, we are finally seeing a number of devices that have been announced and claim that they can be a massive weapon against COVID-19. Today on the show, we are reviewing one such product. This is Shycocan's virus attenuation device, which uses a proprietary photon-mediated electron emission technology to inhibit the coronavirus. Does it really work? What technology is it using? How do we know if it's working? How effective is it? If it can eliminate viruses, then how does it not harm humans? Many questions. So let's dive in. Shycocan has gone ahead with a very subtle design for their virus attenuation device. It is a cylindrical shaped unit. Just like the design of the device, the installation process with an included wall mount is simple as well. That being said, the unit does have a substantial amount of weight to it. Once set up, the unit works essentially like a simple plug-and-play device. It's time to understand the science of what the company claims will neutralize the influenza family of viruses as well as the coronavirus by 99.9%. Now, COVID-19 virus is a positive sense virus whose S protein attaches to the human cell through the ACE2 receptors. In layman's terms, the positive charge of the virus infects us by attaching itself to the negative charge of our human cells. Once in contact, the virus infuses its RNA into the cell and starts to multiply, infecting the body. This is where the attenuation device comes into action. The Shycocan unit continuously emits photons in real time that form an electron cloud in the space where it is installed. Simply put, the device creates negatively charged electrons that neutralize the positive charge of the S protein of coronavirus, essentially disabling it from infecting a person. Additionally, the brand claims that the device does not use any harmful chemicals or produce ozone to inhibit the virus. Also, it does not impact fungus, bacteria or human cells, but it simply inhibits the coronavirus. The company claims that this technology has been verified by laboratories around the globe. It has been tested for bacterial behavior by the Scalene Energy Research Institute, where it was established that the device does not affect bacterial growth. The device has also been tested to make sure that it does not generate ozone while emitting photons. Another Scalene report also verifies that the device is proven to inhibit viral particles in air and surface. The brand pitches this device for both domestic and public spaces. It is priced at 24,999 rupees, and time now to speak to the people behind this device.
So I'm going to start off with some of the people that have actually been speaking about it. Umesh Kadane, professor and head of physics department at the Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, has actually had a few questions about the exact technology. He says electrons cannot survive in air. They're absorbed by other atoms and molecules. You need to do this in a vacuum. Nowhere else has it ever really happened. So can we start with this? How are you being able to do what others are saying no one has been able to do?
There are superalloys. I think you must have definitely heard of superalloys. Superalloys are alloys that has got great properties. Superalloys have been there right from the ancient times. So in the PME, we use a superalloy. It's a 19 element superalloy. When this PME is excited, it produces photons. And when these photons strike surfaces, it emanates electrons, which we call it as photoelectrons. You see?
Okay.
And these electrons are short-lived. Okay, I agree that. Because the moment they strike nearby things and they neutralize. But you have to understand one thing, the machine continuously produces it. So this happens on a continuous basis. So that is why you will have electrons all the time.
So how does it only kill the coronavirus or, like you said, influenza viruses?
Now, if you take the coronavirus or your influenza virus, okay, they all have it's an enveloped virus, and this envelope, we call it as caspid, this has got what is called a spike protein. Now, this spike protein, which is positive sense, negative seeking. So here what we do is we are taking that opportunity and we are binding the electrons which is emanated, we are binding them against the S proteins.
Now I'm going to go back to the when you spoke about the super alloy. Once again, there's a lot of talk that there's no documentation and no technical information on any such alloy. You're calling it a super alloy. Because
the alloy is made, invented by and made by us.
Even if this device has the capacity to inactivate viral protons, the fact that a subatomic particle does not have any way of distinguishing a viral proton from a human protein, how are humans safe anywhere around this device? Are you talking about having it there 24/7?
First of all, it has got the virus has got a specific protein. Number one. Now we are only disabling the mechanism of action. We are only disabling the mechanism of action and nothing else. The device simply is designed to disable the S protein of a corona family of virus.
Claim about the US FDA's approval. Now the approval or whatever the claim is made by the company is basically under this Emergency Act where it's for sterilizers, disinfectant devices, air purifiers, and stuff like that during the COVID-19 public health emergency guidelines, where they say that they will not object to these kind of devices. This doesn't seem like you have US FDA approval for what you claim Shycocan does.
The US FDA, during this pandemic, so the pandemic came out suddenly, a lot of people started coming out with new solutions. But then the new solutions, nobody knows how well the new solutions work. Mm-hmm. So the FDA put a minimum test requirements, and then they created what we call it as enforcement discretion. Okay, so enforcement discretion, a device which is being cleared, not approved, cleared under enforcement discretion can be sold in United States as long as COVID-19 health emergency is there. So what we have done is we have already filed for the 510K, asking them that this would be continued beyond the pandemic.
What would you say to people in one sentence that would actually make them believe you? Because, there is a big risk out here. This is what you're claiming. So how confident are you that you're not playing around with people's lives?
The Shycocan device has undergone 25 virology studies. I don't think any device anywhere has undergone that much.
What we have done is that wherever customers need to review it, we get an NDA signed and submit all the reports to them. So all the customers who are taking decisions, both on safety and efficacy, look through the reports and get them evaluated.
How do you actually map an area for this to be at its optimum level?
So for a home, because the current virus is extremely virulent and transmits very, with a very high rate, for full protection, you need to have it in every room.
Our final impression? While the Shycocan seems like a very promising device, anyone considering it right now should wait till some peer reviews appear in reputable medical journals. We will keep tracking this story.